Hi guys, so good afternoon or good morning, good night, whenever you're watching this video. So you already know my name and you already know who I am. And then so today's video I'm going to be telling you all something personal. I wasn't really sure I wanted to share this video. I wanted to share this whole thing. I wasn't sure. So this is like a last minute video, like an impromptu video. So that's why I look all kind of somehow and all that. But nevertheless, so you all know what happened to me. You all know about my accident and all that. So in my previous video, I told you all things like doctor told me and how I am supposed to like be losing my cast by March. So the reassurance that was by the end of March, then April, then I should be able to walk. So when I go to the hospital by April, I should lose my cast and be able to walk properly. Not properly, like perfectly, but okay. Like I'm not supposed to be using any walking aid, clutches, or whatever and whatever. So that's what happened after my exams, which I told you I was taking in my previous video too. I um I went to the hospital to remove my cast. So everybody was excited that day. My mom was excited. We were all happy and all that and all that. Unfortunately, it was our turn to see the doctor, and then we went there, and he finished like examine whatever. He examined me, and then we went into the room. He gave us the go-ahead order to go to the room and go to the room where they remove casts. Unfortunately, we went there, we removed my cast. Everything went fine, everything was perfect. I was still using my clutches because I wasn't able to walk. I mean, I haven't walked in like 5 months. I can't just start walking all of a sudden, even though I wasn't, even though like they told me to use walk without it, but it was a little bit scary and I was unsure. But eventually, I they told me that after 3 days, I should drop the walking aid and try using my leg to walk. And I was like, okay, no problem after 3 days, because my leg still feels wobbly and unstable. So I was like, after 3 days, it should be better. My leg should like stabilize and start getting used to my body and weight back. So yeah. So we went home, everybody all excited. My mom, my siblings, everybody at home was so happy that, oh, I get to walk again. No more clutches, no more walking aid, no more staying one place, no more beating one part of my body because I couldn't like hold on the other part of my leg because of the cast. So everybody was happy and excited. So we still, I don't know, something in my mom, in us, just felt the urge to go for an X-ray. And we're like, okay, let's go for an X-ray. And then we went for an X-ray. That was like, it was almost like 1 week after I removed my cast. I went for an X-ray. Mind you, before this happened, I already started walking without my clutches. It was already 3 days after I removed my cast, and I started walking without my clutches. I was able to walk without my clutches, but it was a little bit hard. I was still unstable. I was still shaking, and my leg was paining me. So I was like, "Is this pain normal? Am I supposed to be feeling this pain?" I mean, well, like, okay, the doctor told me to go ahead. So who am I? So I kept on walking without my clutches. Sometimes I was sleeping, sometimes it was just hard generally, but I was okay. Maybe it's just because I haven't been working for like 5 months. So my body will gradually get used to the fact that okay, now I've started working and then I continue. And the pressure at home was like walk, even when I didn't want to walk, or even when I felt the need that oh this place is high, I need to use my clutches to maneuver. Everybody in my house was like, no, 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 walk without your clutches. Like the pressure was real. I was like, okay, no problem. Everybody, they're just trying to help. And I was like, trying my best to walk without my clutches. So eventually we went for the x-ray and I was like, I know I was skeptical about looking at it. I was scared. I was like, what if I look at this x-ray and it's my leg hasn't even there's no progress. I was scared. I took a peep at the computer monitor, whatever you want to call it. where the x-ray was showing, and I saw that okay, there's progress, but it was not the progress I wanted to see. I didn't look at how bad it was. I just had a peep, and I just saw something that didn't look that bad to me, actually. But I was like, my leg is supposed to be perfect now, so eventually with time it will become perfect as it's supposed to be. Then I went home with my X-ray. The truth is, no, 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 no. Sorry guys. There has been a misunderstanding. The truth is, I saw the X-ray. I took a peep at the monitor and saw that it was not that bad. To me, it wasn't that bad. I didn't really see it, but what I saw wasn't that bad to me. So normally we don't take our X-ray that day. We come the next day after the doctor has written and signed on top of the X-ray and everything. So the next day I went to collect my X-ray, and I didn't go. My uncle went to collect for me, and they said it wasn't ready. The second day again, I asked my mom, "Mom, where's my X-ray?" And she said the doctor has not signed on it yet. And spoiler alert, the truth is that my mom was holding this X-ray all this while. She had already collected it and she didn't want me to see it because she knew that, oh, this was going to hurt me, this was going to make me cry because I'm a crybaby, guys. I'm a very, very emotional kind of person. So she was like, no, she didn't want this, she didn't want me to see it, she didn't want it to hurt me, she didn't want me to cry and all that. She was like, and she too, she was like very hot. She was like, after seeing me pass through all the pains and all the cry, I cry every day. So she was like, no, 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 what's happening? So she didn't give me the X-ray. I didn't even know until the day of the doctor. So we consulted the doctor. We consulted the doctor. I don't even know how. I don't even know when all these things were happening. I was just like, okay, it's not my business. When doctor sign, we'll collect X-ray. So I didn't know my mom had already collected the X-ray. She had already like consulted the doctor, giving the doctor the X-ray, and the doctor have already told her what is going to happen to me. Doctor, she didn't tell me anything. She just told me, okay, let's go to the hospital today with the X-ray. I was like, you have gotten the X-ray, and I don't know about it. I was like, okay, no problem, Sha, let's go to the hospital. In the car, I asked my mom to give me my X-ray, and she refused. That it's not my own X-ray. I said, if it's not my own X-ray, then whose X-ray are you carrying to the hospital? She said, it's not an X-ray, it's an important document. I said, no problem. I knew it was my X-ray, but I was like, it was like making me more worried because I was like, what is in my X-ray that you don't want to show me? But I was like, God is in control. I just said going to the hospital. So it's time for our own meet and greet with the doctor or consultation. It was our own time turn. So we went into the doctor's office and he told me, he explained everything that was happening to me. That was when I was like, what is going on? Like, if you should calm down. Like, what are you telling me? Doctor told me that I have to go for surgery. If not, I can't walk properly. Ever. That my bone did not align well. So I was like, first of all, I wanted to shout. I wanted to be angry. I was already sad, but I didn't know how to react. I was like, surgery, surgery. I was confused because I thought of just one thing, just one thing. The problem, I wasn't happy that I had to go for surgery. That's under the knife and all those things. I don't like the idea of all those things. That wasn't my main problem. My main problem was that you literally told me to go home and walk without my clutches. She told me to not to use my clutches again. On our own, we decided that we would go for an X-ray. So if I and my mom didn't decide the option of decide on going for an X-ray, how would I know I was supposed to go for surgery? I will be on my own thinking I'm better, putting pressure on my leg that I'm not supposed to be pressuring. And then one day in the future I can't walk or my bone just get, I don't know the English to use, but you people know where I'm going. If my leg just gets disfigured because I am doing what I am not supposed to be doing to my leg, it is literally because I listened to a doctor. This is an advice here. Apart from me telling you my story, this is an advice to you guys. Please prioritize your health. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nowadays, nobody really cares. They're just getting paid, they're getting their money, and your health doesn't really matter to them. Yeah, there are still good doctors out there, and yes, this might be a very honest mistake. Maybe he thought, oh, by now my leg should have been better. But still, and say you're a doctor, you are meant to check. That is why it's called checkup. There's check. There are things like checkup because you're meant to go and check whether you're okay. You don't just tell me go when you haven't checked me. Even if you like normally, I had a fracture, minor or major, whatever it is. If I've been in your care for a while and now it is time for me to go, you are to check whether everything is okay. Since you cannot see my bone with your bare eyes, you are to tell me to go for an x-ray. So if I did not decide to go for an x-ray, one point in my life, I'm sure it won't even be up to 2 weeks, then I'll just disfigure my leg because my leg will not be able to carry me again. One day I might just try to do something crazy and then it dies. When it dies, where it ends. That's where it ends. I might end up getting another fracture, something worse. So I was confused. Like the tears were already like up in my eye. I don't want to start crying because the tears were already up in my eye. I didn't want to start crying in the hospital there. I just wanted to leave that place as he said it. And it was part, as even I came that day, I removed my cast. As even I was told that I had to go for surgery to correct something. It wouldn't have been a problem. I would be sad, yes. But I know that I was not disappointed. I already started making plans that, oh, 3 months is over. Now I have to go back to school. Let me start buying my stuff. I'm making plans with my friends. And then all of a sudden, you're telling me I have to go for surgery and it will take another 2 months to heal before I can walk. That was not the worst part. For me, the worst part was where I had to wear another cast. Guys, have you ever worn a cast before? If you wear a cast, it's like having lice on your leg or having, I don't know what disease or I don't know what infection I should use. Without that, it's very itchy and then you can't scratch. You know, when something is very itchy and you can't scratch it, you know the pain and the torture it is mentally and otherwise. That's what I was facing for almost for 3 months. I couldn't reach my leg. I didn't pour water there, but and it was itching me like a mad person. It was for more than 3 months because before the cast I was already using bandage to bandage my leg, bandage and wood. That was the local way they were using to dress my wounds and like help my bones stabilize before I could move. And then you tell me that I have to go for surgery and I have to wait another 2 months if you're going to put my leg in a cast. It wasn't making sense to me. I was like, when you told me about the surgery, I was like, okay. That was my first disappointment. I was like, okay, surgery. After surgery, everything have ended. He now told me, and then I still have to put your leg in a cast, which will take 2 months again to heal. I was like, what? I was like, eh? I used I told him I had to like make sure that he knew who I was like casts like yes, like that thing I put in your leg. For you even had to remind me that thing that you remove from your leg. I was like, well, okay, mommy, I'm going. I went to the car. Before my mom even got to the car, me that could not walk properly, I was already in the car, crying like a baby. I was crying. The driver, my mother didn't even know what to tell me. My mother didn't even know what to tell me. She was just looking at me. She was just begging me, please stop, please stop, please stop. She nearly even started crying herself because knowing what I went through, her seeing me every day in the state I was, battling with my own emotions and my own thoughts, it was something else. And then her knowing that this is what I have to go through again, she knew. She just knew. Many people might say, what did he go through? It's just a minor fracture. He didn't you're not disabled for life and stuff like that. But I just want to tell you guys something, one thing. This pain I passed through, I'm passing through, might not be as big as it seems, but it was a weight, like it is like a very huge weight on my own shoulders. Because I know what it cost me. It cost me a lot. I had like deals, like I was doing one modeling, so I had like this contract for somebody where I was supposed to model her dresses and a photo shoot I was supposed to do for somebody and other stuff that I already planned for my life, and then this accident cut my life short. And some of those opportunities I had then, I do not have them anymore. So how is that not supposed to bother me? How is that not supposed to depress me? And I already battling with anxiety and depression. For those that know, they know. And from my previous video, I already said something about it. So plus all those problems I was facing already in my life, then my accident had to pile up on top. It had to be the icing on the cake for everything to just okay. The life has been cut short finally. Maybe somebody lost their leg. That is enough for somebody to even want to kill themselves. Maybe somebody can't walk again. Everybody have their own way of how they get depressed or what bothers them. Don't think somebody's problem is too small. Somebody's depression can be greater. So or somebody's anxiety can be greater than my own problem. Like just an ordinary trauma somebody is facing can be bigger than me having a fracture, having an accident on my leg. And I'm not even going to battle with you because you know how large a problem is. But something I will tell you guys is that don't tell anybody that their problem is too small. Mm-mm. The way it's taking a toll on them, if you were in their shoes, you would definitely not be telling them that. They know what they're passing through. And it's not even a joke. I just want to tell you guys to be like kind to people. You never know. Before I had this accident, I was still battling with anxiety and depression, and I was smiling, like I was smiling. I was living my best life in people's definition, not my own definition. And I was going through a lot, but I was still maintaining beauty. But in my heart, in my head, I was crying myself to sleep for most nights. I was sometimes I question God, and I'm like, nothing was making sense. Sometimes I'll be happy, and sometimes I'll be extremely sad. After this whole accident happened to me, and after I found out I had surgery, I cried. I was already crying non-stop. And finally, I was like, joy has come, and then I cried for 2 days straight.
I was crying because I was sad and disappointed, and mostly because I've already told my friends that I was healed and I've started working. So what was I supposed to go back
Then I
and
just
tell
stopped.
them?
I was like, what has happened has happened. I can't reverse time. I can't stop it. I will go for the surgery, and hopefully that has to be my final pain. I had to even pass through another people telling me, advising me not to go for the this thing. What's that injection where they numb your skin or they numb you from feeling pain from the surgery. I had to be awake on my own. So that was the scary part. I have never been in a surgical room or an operating theater before. Then I have to be awake and watch you divide my leg into two and shift my bone, and I have to like the thought of doing that kind of thing was is picking me. It's like I see what I'm going to do. I still think about it because how am I going to do that? How am I not going to shift? Even if I'm not feeling pain, I'm going to think I feel pain because watching you do something that's meant to be painful to me is still going to affect me mentally in a way. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I'm still thinking of how I'm going to have to pass through that. Sorry. But nevertheless, hopefully, just hopefully, maybe I'll be better. Hopefully. Thank you guys for all your wishes and everybody that has been reaching out to me. I always say thank you. In all my videos, I always say thank you because you guys are very wonderful. There are a lot of wonderful people in this world, and I hope this ungrateful world we live in does not change your life, does not change your spark, because one day you'll get everything you deserve and more. So this is like a thank you video for every single wonderful person in the world. And even if you're passing through pain, please don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. That's all I have to say. Bye, guys.